Okay, so we're ready to start our tournament. Essentially, to get started with the tournament, you simply press on the one you want to start. Uh, the very first time that the system comes up, it's going to let you know once in tournament mode, you can't leave until the game is completed. What that is basically letting you know is that as soon as you're in the tournament mode and you move a piece, you're basically locked in. At that point, you won't be able to back out of the application or go to any other settings or preferences within the app. So everything is just configured to run in that tournament mode. So if you close the app and reopen it, you'll be right back in the tournament. If you reboot the device and come back up, it'll still be in the tournament. So if you don't want to see that warning, you can just check mark it and then go ahead and hit the OK button. And then it's going to let you know round start. So you're ready to start a new round in the Blend Open tournament. So if you were going to start any of these tournaments, no matter which one you started, it's going to let you know which tournament you're pressing on. So the dialog boxes are extremely aware of what you're doing. So you can just hit the OK button. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. We're going to do the Blend Open. So we'll do the Blend Open. We're in that. Hit the OK button. So if you configured everything properly with the Wi-Fi when you first set up your device, it should have the right date. So today's April the 22nd. The next option below that is use known opponent. We'll dive into that deeper in a later video, but right now we don't have an opponent created yet. So as soon as we create this game, we'll actually have an opponent that we can choose with the opponent system. So to get started, you're going to just choose your round number. So we're starting our first round. Maybe we're going to play on board 5. And then you get to choose your opponent's color. So my opponent's going to play black. His name is Jim, and his last name is Daniels. And then you're going to go ahead and put in his rating. So if they're not rated, you can just hit the unrated button, and it'll just list unrated for that round. So when you have all the right information, go ahead and hit start. And then once you start, it's going to pull up the tournament board. At this point, you're going to see your player's name and his rating, and your player's name and rating, and then the colors of who's assigned to what. So if you made a mistake before you move any pieces, you can hit the back button and you can change it. So maybe I realized Jim, he said his rating wasn't, I put it in there right. He said, no, I'm actually 1490. So you can put that information there and it's listed. So it automatically updates. At this point, we'll go over the settings within the screen before we start moving pieces around. So at the very top, you have a bell. What the bell is for is inputting the time on the actual chess clock. So this doesn't track time by any means. All this is doing is it just lets you know at what move you were making inside the chess game. So like, let's say you're in 20 moves and you look at the chess clock and there's 30 minutes left. You can go in here and you can put in like, okay, at move 20, I had 30 minutes left, because I've been using my time or whatever. So you would just hit that and it would input it into the game, and we'll show you that when we start in the next video when we go through running through the game. Up above is the estimated game timer, which looks like a little timer. When it's running, there's not a slash through it, and when it's stopped, there's a slash. So as soon as you move a piece on the board, it'll start tracking time. Above that, the next option is your text option. What that does is it'll increase the font size down here for the move list. So you can, if you need to see the font a little bigger, a little smaller, you can adjust it to your liking. At the very bottom, we have the menu to end the game. So when you're done with the game and you're ready to finish the game, you can click on white one, black one, or draw. And if there was a time forfeit, you can, if somebody lost on time, you just simply check mark that and it lets you know it's a time forfeit, and then you just choose the color. This is a feature that we added, so it keeps track of when you actually have forfeits inside the PGN. So if you ever go back and look at the PGN later in ChessBase or another application, it'll list that there was actually a time forfeit on that game. Next to that is your move list, and we'll show that when we actually have some moves. The plus symbol is for checks. The hashtag is for checkmate. The parentheses and the equal is when somebody offers a draw. It's a FIDE symbol, but we've added it in the application for both USCF and also for FIDE and for club. Just a nice symbol to keep track of when somebody offers a draw in a game, if you want to notate that. And then you have your arrow keys, which will move forward and backwards in your moves. Clearly you can't go into the future if there's no move. So that's the tournament board, and we're going to go ahead and stop this video, and we'll start the next one in a moment.